friends, today we're going to talk about an important tool for you to master, and that's called the distributive property. Let's look at when we would use this. So if, for example, I had something like 3 parentheses x minus 2 close parentheses. What does that mean to do? Now, those parentheses actually mean multiplication. So that means that the 3 is getting multiplied by the whole thing, x minus 2. This is an indication that we need to use the distributive property, which just means I'm going to distribute the multiplication of the 3 to everything in the parentheses. All right, you see what we're going with. I'm going to show you the rule, and then we'll come back and work this problem. I'll put the rule on the other side of the board. If I have A and I multiply it by parentheses B plus C. All right, now I always draw the arrows. It's just a habit. So I'm going to multiply the A times the B, and I draw that arrow like arcing from the A over the parentheses to the B. So I'm going to have A times B. And then next, I'm going to multiply the A times that positive C. So I will have plus AC. So A times parentheses B plus C will give me AB plus AC. So in the distributive property, we distribute the outside number to everything inside the parentheses. Let's see what it looks like back on our example over here. All right, I have 3 parentheses x minus 2. So the 3 gets multiplied by the x, and I'm going to write that as 3x. And the 3 gets multiplied by negative 2. So I'm going to have negative 6. So 3 times parentheses x minus 2 is just 3x minus 6. All right. Let's try another one. If I have 2x multiplied by x plus 4. All right. So again, I always draw the arrows in. I would encourage you to as well, because it helps you remember that it gets distributed to each thing inside that parentheses. So 2x times x will give me 2x squared. 2x times 4 is going to give me 8x. So 2x times parentheses x plus 4 would give me 2x squared plus 8x. Now, notice that my rule works whether this is a positive or a negative here. We're going to keep that sign. But if it's helpful, I can rewrite my rule to include A times parentheses B minus C. And we know that this would be A times B minus A times C. So notice, let me grab one different color here, that the sign in the middle of our B plus C is going to stick around. All right, let's look at another one. What if I have 3x and I'm going to multiply it by 1 minus 2x squared? Let's just make it one more complicated. Now, even though that's a 1, I'm still going to multiply it by 3x. We're still going to use the same rules. So 3x times 1 will just give me 3x. 3x times negative 2x squared, well, I'm going to keep that negative. 3 times 2 gives me 6, and x times x squared gives me x cubed. So we just use our multiplication rules within that distributive property. So 3x times parentheses 1 minus 2x squared would give me 3x minus 6x cubed. All right. Now the number on the front can also be negative. So let's look at an example of how that might work. So let's say I had negative 2x times parentheses 4 minus 3x. We're going to use the same rule, step by step. Just be mindful that we have a negative out front. And boy, anytime we have a negative, we just want to be more careful. So negative 2x times 4, well, that would give me negative 8 times x. Then negative 2x times negative 3x. Negative times a negative gives me a positive. 2 times 3 gives me 6. And x times x is x squared. So my final answer would be negative 8x plus 6x squared. All right? So distributive property shows up a lot when we're dealing with order of operations. And then we see it a lot with solving equations as well. So it's important to be comfortable with it. It's also part of the foundation for factoring. So if you are getting ready to factor, you want to make sure that you can do distributive property first, because factoring is the opposite of distributive property.